Hey guys, my name is Rosie. Yesterday, AGS dropped the Season 10 announcement. I want to go through it with you, share my opinion about it, and also a little bit about the future of New World and what I would like to see and some ideas that I have. So let's dive into it. Alright, so we're looking at the announcement. Season 10 Night Haven announcement. I'll put a link in the description so you can read through it on your own time. And so when we scroll down, we see the first picture here. New World Aeternum Night Haven. Pretty cool, I would say. It looks nice. I personally really like this art style and this like dark theme. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, this might remind you of Revendreth, which was a zone in Shadowlands, which is my favorite expansion. We see a werewolf here, another one, I don't know, like a vampire girl and a vampire guy. Okay, but let's read it a little bit. With Season 10, Night Haven, explore a realm hidden from Aeternum for generations. Uncover the fate of the Tier of Gaia. Navigate to... I don't know what that word is. Alliances and face threats born from darkness itself. Between a mysterious new zone, evolving endgame systems, and a 10-player raid, this season reshapes how you journey and endure. The Night Haven update will release on Monday, October 13. This is very important, and will be free for all New World Aeternum owners. So that is huge, right? Because imagine they actually made this in a paid expansion. On one hand, I would think, okay, if it's paid, it usually indicates that they will offer a lot too, right? Because you're paying for it. So they need to prove themselves, right? But free in this case is better because I think a lot of people have New World in their Steam library or even their console now. And now it's like, oh, there's new content. Oh, it's for free. Let's try it out. So, and then they might get hooked again. So that's amazing, right? All right. I think that's a really good choice that they did that. Look at this style. I love that. There's a little town here at the bottom. Oh, I can't. There's a little town here. There's a lot of hills. I think that's awesome. New zone Night Haven. An ancient land rich with history, Night Haven was largely cut off from the rest of Aeternum for lifetimes under the direction of its powerful king. And do you think it's this guy? Probably, right? This is the king. So this zone is going to be under Brimstone, apparently. It's gonna be under Brimstone. I don't know if it's gonna be connected to Ebonscale, but from this is a picture, this is a picture from 2022. I think they already like data mined this. I'm not going to read through literally everything. I just want to point out the highlights. I also think they're talking about werewolves. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because they're literally here at the front. Those few who did visit this haunting woods and mighty castles tell stories of mysterious figures, tall and lithe, engaged both in the politics of the court and in the dark hallways of the land's many ruins. These inhabitants can be both charming and welcoming, or vicious and fearsome, depending on how they view those that they interact with. I'm curious what that means. You know what, I want to talk about this a little bit later on too, but I wish they implemented races in this game, just like World of Warcraft, where they have, you know, vampires. You can make a new character as a vampire or a werewolf. I personally wouldn't be a werewolf, but it would be cool, you know, to see something refreshing than just humans that we have now. These are also stories of monstrous creatures that seem to exhibit the qualities of both man and beast. Although they have largely been known to stalk the dark forests and hills of Night Haven, they're now an ever-present threat. Alright, well, let's go to the next part. New story. I mean, this doesn't really come as a surprise with a new zone, right? Probably a new story line to follow because we're going to have to level again, which I like. I don't mind that. All right, new thing here, guys. This is very important, okay? New game mode, Catacombs. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but doesn't matter. Catacombs is a new game mode in which up to 3 players explore the depths of a procedurally generated dungeon, battling a wide variety of enemies and bosses, gaining unique mode-specific power-ups, collecting cursed resources and currency, and racing to successfully exit and cleanse their treasures before time runs out. This reminds me a little bit of Legacy. This right here is Legacy, Steel, and Sorcery, and it's like an extraction type game. I don't know really the specifics, but you basically spawn. Well, you can also compare it to Escape from Tarkov. You spawn, you loot, and you need to go to an extraction point to actually gather what you looted. This reminds me of that when they describe it in the announcement. I think that will be cool, but there is a twist though, for me at least. While the difficulty of Catacombs is moderate at the start of the session, the challenge and reward is increased significantly each time a boss is defeated. Anyway, this is PvE. I wish they implemented this as like you can queue up for this in a PvP mode where you fight for loot against other people, or you can pick PvE where you fight against mobs. It sounds like it's PvE only. Alright, let's move over to the next bit. New raid, Isle of Night. Isle of Night is a new 10-person endgame raid. The raid is set in a once magnificent kingdom whose inhabitants have now fallen lost. So now people are already on this, right? So okay, the main mob in this new raid will be Lost. In New World, you obviously have Lost, Angry Earth, Corrupted, Human, etc. And you can have trophies for it, right? To get a damage boost, you need to place those trophies in your house. You can have 3 trophies in total in each house. Now, people have already bought all the Lost trophies from the auction house, and also they're farming it. When you go to a specific location where you can grind for this, there's a lot of people standing there waiting for the mob to spawn. So good luck with that if you want to do that. So that is pretty cool, right? Similar length and format to Hive of Gorgons. This raid features 3 new bosses and multiple new enemy types, light puzzles and set piece encounters. This raid will be some of the hardest content in Season 10, demanding players gear up and coordinate to succeed. That's pretty cool, right? I am not a PvE person, but I do like Gorgon. I don't mind running it every week. Overhauled endgame progression. Nighthaven brings with it numerous game-wide changes to systems, progression, gearing, and rewards. Our goal with these changes is to form a connective tissue that motivates a variety of play in endgame activities and enables players to customize their loadouts in ways they never could before to discover unique and powerful combinations of equipment. And let's see what that means, right? Along with a level cap increase, gear score is raising from 725 to 800. PvP modes, which currently scale gear to 700, will now scale to 775. That's pretty cool too. I mean, nothing crazy. New gear modding system. Perk charms. This is pretty cool too. Instead of 1 customizable gem socket, gear can now have up to 4 empty sockets into which players can install new perk modifiers called charms. This is completely new. Charm sockets and charms themselves have 3 types: defensive, offensive, and skill. These charms will be picked up fully refined, but more commonly will need to be crafted with rare materials which drop from endgame content. Okay. Set bonuses. If you've played WoW, you will recognize this. We are introducing set bonuses into New World Aeternum for the first time. These ultra rare sets of gear will be earned from pinnacle endgame content, Isle of Night raid, Catacombs, and the PvP track. More about the PvP track later and my opinion about this. We want to encourage players to mix and match these sets to achieve their desired build type, so they aren't all or nothing. Set bonuses come in 2 types. Some bonuses activate at 2 equipped pieces, and then get better at 4 equipped pieces, 2 out of 4, and some only activate at 3 pieces and then get better at 5 pieces, 3 out of 5. This means there are 7 possible combinations of set bonus, configuration, etc. It's up to you to decide best combination of effects that best suit your unique playstyle. I honestly don't fully understand this, but the thing with me is I am not a theory crafter, or like I don't really make unique builds. My brain just doesn't work with that. I'm better at other things. So I'll discover this later. I'll understand this at some point, but now I don't. Well, I understand set bonuses, but I don't understand this mixing thing. I don't really understand that. Now, let's talk about umbros. Alright, what I gathered from this is that the gear that you have now, if it's gear score 700, you can use it in the next season. Because here you can use umbros on gear score 700 armor or weapons, I guess, right? But they are time gated, so there's a wallet cap of 1,000 umbros per week, right? I kind of think that's a good thing, because otherwise people can just like speed run to their best set, and I think it's good that it's like slowed down a bit or a lot. I don't know yet. I don't know how fast you'll get this cap, right? So infix perks. There will still be unique gear pieces with powerful and rare perks called infixes. These will function similarly to how the unique perk on artifacts work. Okay, sounds cool. Attribute changes. So from what I gathered from this, they remove attribute points from armor and weapons, and you're gonna be able to get it through another way. I think that's pretty good, I would say. I don't really have a strong opinion on that. I guess it will be easier to get your ideal attribute distribution. Now, it's sometimes pretty hard to get your ideal, well, for me at least, sometimes I have too much magnify, and then I need to get a specific piece. Like, let's say I want to have 350 dex for my bow, and because I have magnify, I get to 383, I think. But I can't change that, so I need to get a gone piece, which is not ideal because then I need to spend more gold on it to get the specific one with the specific perks, etc. Perk design. We've done a complete sweep through our collection of perks and made some structural changes. Our goal is to make perk selection conditional and thoughtful, and to eliminate must-have perks that simply raise the critical combat numbers like damage, stamina, and cooldown reduction without some kind of meaningful drawback. Sounds good too. Don't got much else to say about that. This looks awesome. I love this. Can't wait to explore the zone. Alright, new thing here. New OPR map, the tower. Okay, sounds really cool. I'm not a big OPR fan, but you know, to me, anything new is good. And I do like the way they're describing this. It's basically a castle with different floors, I think. There's jump pads. It says, and strategic pathways create constant warfare. There's underway passages. This sounds awesome. I honestly think that this might be it. It says the tower, but it looks like a castle. I don't know. We'll see though. This is crazy. He looks scary. He's got 3 fingers and he's very angry. It would be so cool if some people looked like this. That if you get like infected by a werewolf, you get bitten, that you're stuck being a wolf for like a week. That would be funny. But hey, that's what I would do if I was a developer. Alright, and then they say keep on the outlook. Get a sneak peek at season 10 with the OPR map preview scheduled September 23rd. That is in like a week. Ending It's like a week long. That's so cool. I hope that they will add Twitch drops to this. Oh my god. Imagine some werewolf transmog that you can get from watching Twitch. All the numbers go up. All the streamers are online. Everyone is in the new OPR. Also, September still going on. September going crazy. The streamer's dream, honestly. And then they say, don't miss a developer video going in depth on Season 10 coming in early October. All right, I love that. Some people say that it's a shame that they didn't make a video now, like to hype people up, but maybe they're trying to play it safe, or simply the funds aren't there. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We can speculate all day long, but this sounds good to me though. And then I want to talk a little bit about what I would like to see in the future. Earlier, I mentioned that I would like to see races in this game. And then another thing that I would like to see is only 2 factions. So remove one because currently we have 3. But if you look at World of Warcraft, you have the Horde and the Alliance. You know exactly what they stand for, right? So Horde are the bad guys. The Alliance are the good guys. Boom, easy. And then when there's a Horde player, there's like this hatred towards the Alliance, right? Like there's this rivalry going on, and that's what I really enjoy. With New World, there isn't really that feeling of like, oh, I am a Marauder, I stand for this, and I see a Covenant player, and you know, there's just not really that feeling, at least not for me, and also not the people that I've spoken to. So I think that will be a lot of fun. But, you know, New World is 3 factions. Maybe they can revamp the factions, for example, that they are more clear of what they stand for. I don't know, something like that. Or people need to go to the base of their own faction to do certain things. Right now, you don't need to go anywhere. You can just go to any big city and there's your faction vendor. And then the last thing that I want to talk about for the future is changing the PvP track. And not necessarily how it works, but I would extend the PvP track. So now max track is number 200. If you've been playing PvP for the past 3 years, you have hit that track maybe even years ago. So I would like to see it being extended either to like a limited number, right? Like 1,000, which I think is still too low. Let's say 2,000, for example. I think that would be amazing. And I'm not even asking for anything different. I'm just asking for the number to go up so you know what track you are on. Now we don't really have a clue like how many times we have recycled the track number 200, right? Because you just go over the same track over and over again. But if you have like track 1,000, like this image right here, I made this image, you can either make it so, okay, the number will continue after 200. Like there's milestones that you can go for. Let's say track 1,000 has a title, just a title, nothing else. Everything else is the same. You just have a higher number. Maybe the colors change of your PvP symbol, or something like that. But ideally, I would like to have, for example, transmog pieces that if you see someone walk around with a certain transmog, that you're like, holy, you know, this guy has played so much PvP, you can only get that piece at track 1,000 or track 2,000, you know? Like, oh my god, this person has played so much. Or maybe a mount, or maybe something that you can attach to your mount. Anything, or a helmet, or, you know, something. It doesn't even have to be much, but that's what I think would make PvP even more fun. And you'll have some kind of goal, because a lot of things in MMOs or games, it's about ego and about flexing. That's why people buy mounts. That's why people, you know, grind for Gladiator in World of Warcraft. Yeah, I mentioned World of Warcraft like 10 times this video, but you know, a lot of things remind me of that game. So yeah, I think that would be amazing. But anyway, that was the video for now. I hope you liked it. You can help me out by liking the video, giving it a thumbs up. Subscribing obviously would be really awesome. I'm trying to grow my channel. Also, following me on Twitch would be awesome. And Lately, I've been trying to get Partner Plus on Twitch, which means I will get a 60-40 split instead of 50-50 right now. I can explain that more on my Twitch whenever I'm live and you want more info about that. But subscribing to my Twitch helps me out a lot too and makes it possible for me to do these things. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the whole video. That's it. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.